Welcome back to Cheddar, everyone. Our next guest is working to empower veterans and the families of fallen servicemen and women to continue service in their local communities. Joining us now is Ryan Manion, president of the Travis Manion Foundation. Ryan, this mission is personal for you and your family. Please tell us a little bit about Travis and how this campaign got started.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for having me. The Travis Manion Foundation was formed in 2007 after my brother, First Lieutenant Travis Manion, was killed on his second tour of duty in Iraq. And we really started this organization to make sure that we not only continued his legacy, but we continued the legacy of all the men and women who have served and sacrificed. And for us, it's about making sure that we're putting veterans at the forefront of how you change communities, how you redefine America's national character.
And how are you doing that?
Yeah, talk to us about that a little bit.
Sure. So our keystone program in our organization is called Character Does Matter. And what we do is we essentially train veterans who have served their country. They're coming back. They want to continue to serve in some way. So we train them to and deploy them to different youth groups and schools across the country to mentor our next generation.
Mm-hmm.
And how do you deal with some of the issues that servicemen and women have when they come back in terms of PTSD and a lot of the stuff that we know, is a problem for them? Do you view this as a way to combat that, to give them some purpose and meaning, or does it need to work hand in hand in conjunction with treatment for some of the issues they may have? Or are you selecting specific servicemen and women that have shown the ability to do this? How do you really get at the heart of reintegrating these folks into society?
Sure. So, men and women transitioning out of the military, over 55% of them say that the number one thing, the problem and issue that they're facing is they feel disconnected. They feel disconnected from that sense of community that they had in the military. And a lot of times that leads to a lot of the issues that our veterans are facing. Yeah. And so you hit it. It's about giving them a redefined sense of purpose, about finding a way for them to be a part of something bigger than themselves again. Mm-hmm. So we see the work we're doing as a really holistic approach to making sure that we're helping them to successfully transition.
And how long does the transition usually take?
I mean, I work with veterans that have been out for 10 years and they're still going through transition. I think it's always, for these men and women that serve, it's again, finding their new meaning, mm-hmm. finding their new sense of purpose, and making sure that we give that to them, and we as a nation are providing them these opportunities.
And is it focused in certain areas, certain cities all across the country?
We are nationwide across the country, and it was fitting for us today. My brother was killed in 2007. It's been 10 years since our organization has been in existence, but we're at an exponential point of growth right now. So for us to be able to ring the bell this morning, it was kind of like, we're here. We're ready to get going. So
tell us about that, though. So how many markets are you in? How many service professionals do you have sort of in your network? How many schools are you in? What can you share in terms of the impact that you're having?
Yeah, so we're a membership organization. We have over 90,000 members, and they're comprised of veterans, families of the fallen, and inspired civilians, as we like to call them, within our organization. We've supported and provided assistance to over 60,000 veterans in the last 10 years. And we've presented this Character Does Matter program to over 200,000 young adults.
And what is the outreach once veterans get back into the U.S.? Is there a system where you can access and reach directly out to these veterans, or how do you go about introducing people to the foundation?
A lot of what we're doing is word of mouth. It's veterans saying, hey, I'm working with this group. They're doing great things. I love being a part of it. Join. So for us, it's to join our organization, it's going to our website and just signing up, mm-hmm. and then learning about the different events happening in your regions. We're nationwide. We have offices in 8 locations around the country, but we're reaching out wherever we can be. We're going to be there.
And talk to us about funding. Where does the money come from for your organization? And if folks watching today or in the future want to help, how can they help out?
Sure. We're very evenly split between foundation support, individuals, and corporations. We're lucky to have corporations like Johnson & Johnson and Comcast have gotten behind us in a really huge way. To get involved, go to our website. There's all different platforms of ways that you can engage and donate. But we're we're really thankful for a lot of the companies that are coming here. You know, they get behind us, they support us, because I think they understand the synergy between a strong defense and a healthy market and financial marketplace.
And we were talking more about the market before the segment started and before we went live here about the New York Stock Exchange and your presence here and coming down here and ringing the bell on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange, a place that is very welcoming to veterans and veterans organizations. What does it mean to be here on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange?
It's awesome. I honestly didn't know what to expect. I've never been here before. Walked in and there's a lot of energy. I'm sure you guys feel that every single day. But, you know, as I was saying to you, it's interesting, you know, I think that it's fitting that you guys are providing so much support. The New York Stock Exchange provides so much support in growing awareness for veteran causes, because at the end of the day, we need a healthy defense in order to have a healthy market. Mm-hmm.
Great.
Yeah.
Have you guys, has the Trump family, I know they're big on supporting veterans, have they been supporters of your organization in the past, or have you not had any involvement with them?
We have not gotten any financial support from the Trump family, but, you know, we're down there. We're down there in D.C. We're working towards making sure that policies are put into place to support our veterans, and working with each administration as they come in. You know, we're a nonpartisan organization, so
Great.
We just work to make sure that that's happening.
Well, thank you for all the wonderful work that you do. Keep up the good work, and if there's anything we can do here to help in the future, please let us know.
Thanks so much for having me.
Thank you guys very much for being on.
Yeah.
Okay, Ryan Manion, president of the Travis Manion Foundation, really appreciate you being on today.